Hey everybody, Dr. Smith here again. Hey, in the last video about spraining my foot, I talked about putting on the lymphatic taping with the rock tape. The next thing that I did was to wrap my foot with an Arctic Ease bandage. And this is like an icing bandage here. And this is what their stuff looks like. And you just pop this open, and there's this bandage all wrapped up in here. And the pink ones, they actually give some money to breast cancer awareness and research. So it's a little wet, and I just took it out of the refrigerator. This is reusable. You can wrap it back up and put it back in the fridge with just a little bit of water and reuse it again. And you can tell it's a little dirty because I've been using it. So you just wrap this around the area where you're having the pain and you're having the swelling. Okay? And you put a little bit of tension on it just so it holds, but not too much. You don't want to keep anything from draining. And I did this right over the lymphatic taping, like I showed you. And so this was the second thing I did when I got home from the beach and started taking care of myself and healing my injury here. Alright, and sometimes you can just kind of rub that in and that'll stay like that. Other times you need to kind of tuck it in there. It just doesn't stay for some reason. But usually they stay together pretty good like that. Okay. And then the next thing I did was I took some ice packs and wrapped it around my foot and then tied that with an ace bandage just to hold on that ice there. Now, the ice pack is going to get the foot really cold, and so you only want to keep that on for like 20-25 minutes because you don't want to freeze the tissues in the foot. And then I rested it, I elevated it, had a little bit of compression with these wraps on that area to help it drain. And then that's what I did for 25 minutes. And I was in a lot of pain at that time when I got home. I didn't have all my supplements with me at home, so I took 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So those of you that have been reading my blogs about anti-inflammatories, I'm not totally against those drugs. They definitely have their place, and it was really helpful to bring down my pain right after I did that. Alright, but shortly after that, what I started to do was get all my natural anti-inflammatories and pain relievers, set them up right there on the table next to me, and just every hour or so I would be taking those while I was icing and resting my foot that first day. So what I was taking with my meals was omega-3 fatty acids. I would take 2 of these pills, which gave me about 1,400 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids per dose. So I ended up taking these about 3 times a day, which works out to about 4 or 5 grams of omega-3s per day. In between meals, I was taking bromelain at 500 milligrams a dose. And so I probably took these 4 or 5 times, so again about 2.5 grams per day of the bromelain. In addition to that, I have an anti-inflammatory and pain relief beverage that I made. It's sort of like a mix between a tincture and herbal extract and a tea. And this has ginger, willow, licorice, honey, citrus peel, and cayenne in it. And all of those are great anti-inflammatories. So every hour or so, I would take a couple dropperfuls of this. Okay. And then I also took some extra red root here to help the lymphatic system to drain. So in between these, I would take a couple dropperfuls of the red root. Now also, if you've been reading some of my inflammation blogs, you would know that I'm also a little concerned about my immune system starting to be a little weakened by the amount of anti-inflammatories that I'm taking. So in addition to that, I took some echinacea, which is immune modulating. So if my immune system's dropping down a little bit too much, it'll bump it up. If it's doing okay, it's going to act as an anti-inflammatory. So echinacea that we get from MediHerb is the best I've found. Okay? And that's what I did to take care of myself during that time. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to use the crutches, because that's what I was doing afterwards.